So again, we're looking at the analysis side. It says, this is again what I've written for your purposes here. Montag earlier commented to Clarice that surely kids are sociable and talk about things face to face in a meaningful way. Her response here, now I'll pause there to tell you that I added that to identify the speaker in the quotation, because it doesn't give a name over here on the left side. So I indicate who the speaker is on the analysis side. So again, her response here indicates things are worse than she knows. She says what the other kids say, quote, doesn't mean anything, meaning there's no depth to their thoughts, but only shallow, superficial observations about material things. This is mirrored by the dismal state of modern art in museums, where abstract art is formless and devoid of objective meaning. If objective meaning is lost, truth becomes fuzzy, as does the difference between right and wrong. Why else would firemen be so glib about burning down people's homes and society not only accept it, but embrace it by tattling on their neighbors who harbor books? With the outlawing of books, knowledge suffers and ignorance reigns, contributing to a society that has confused evil for good, wrong for right. Now, I already know what you're thinking, and again, calm down. I can't do that. That's too long. That's too hard. That's an excuse. Calm down. Yes, you can approach that. You might not do it exactly that well. My hope is that you can at least attempt it. And through some modification, some revision, you'll get to where you can approach this. And who knows, you may do better. I hope you can blow this out of the water. Because after all, it took me a few minutes. It's going to take you a little longer to craft these and do a good job. So do your best. So this is the verdict, a good one. It says this entry goes deeply into analyzing the theme of the knowledge versus ignorance of how a world without books has created a society unable to think and interact like thinking people, and values insubstantiality over substance. This entry doesn't rely on summary, but clearly explains how the theme emerges in the quoted text. I don't just settle for a summary. I go into more depth, and I explain it in a way that makes the theme of knowledge versus ignorance really pop. Well, that's the point of a dialectical journal. It should be clear and evident on your end what the whole point of the quote was about, and why the author spends time making the two characters, Montag and Clarice, have that conversation in the first place. Otherwise, it's just meaningless filler. Authors do things on purpose. There's a reason for the words that they say. All right, we're going to take a look at a second one. As I said, same page number, same quotation, and the same theme, knowledge versus ignorance. But on the analysis side over here on the right, you can already tell it's quite a bit shorter. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be awful, but it does mean the effort quotient isn't there. So in this quote, Clarice says, other kids don't talk about much of anything. She is a lot smarter than they are. Maybe she has some books and isn't telling Montag she reads them. This is a bad society because people don't know anything. All right, fairly superficial. Let's look at the verdict. Well, bad. This entry offers a simple observation, is that she is a lot smarter than they are, and makes a weak attempt at analyzing the theme and the quotation that contains it. It is a superficial attempt that doesn't dig deeply enough for what the text offers. Think of a good quotation like that as gold in the ore. You got to dig through the rock to get to the good gold. It won't do to just pick beyond the grass a little bit and leave it unmined. You're going to have to pick a little bit, and you're going to have to work at it to get to the good stuff. That means we're thinking a lot. All right, we're going to take a look at the final example.